forward to this. All right, cool. All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of Commissioner's Corner. We have our guest Kevin Diaz today. It's good to see you, Kev. How's your shoulder feeling?
Oh my God, brutal, brutal. But I'll live. I'm not dead, so as long as
Dude,
I'm
tell us the
still up
story.
and
What
breathing.
happened?
Huh?
Tell us the story. What happened to your shoulder?
So originally, I have a bad shoulder to begin with. I mean, it's been bothering me for a few years now, but around this time of year is when I started lifting heavy again, and I was actually working out with Jacob in the gym. Went a
Jacob.
little heavy, and of course, my last rep of my last set, I feel a little, I don't know, grabbing, pinch in the pec shoulder area on my right shoulder. And I had to shut it down. I stopped the rest of the day. The next night, I go to the firehouse. I go to a fire, and we're overhauling, which is it's like the final stage after the fire goes out and stuff. Part of that is just like tearing down all the walls, throwing out anything unnecessary out the window. We get this huge dresser. We have to throw it out, and it twisted on me because of whatever the situation was, and then I felt it in my other shoulder. So I told Jone, I'm like, yo, game time decision, like an hour before the game. Now I'm like this with heating pads and ice on every part of my body before the game. Take a hot shower, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, and then as much Tiger Balm as I could rub on my body head to toe. And I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And then the first time I gave a chest pass to Jone, it was like I got a knife stuck in my shoulder. Sat down, it calmed down. I went back in. I gave it another shot. It just wasn't happening. So I was like, yo, I'm done. I can't. And then, of course, out of necessity, we had a foul out, and I had to go back in the game. So I kind of just muscled through it, but I should have never played.
Dude, that sucks, man. Injuries
Yeah, it
have
sucks.
been the story of this season. I think every team has one or two guys that are probably out for the season. Not didn't really look at it all, but it just sounds like that just based on what I've had conversations with. So, dude, hopefully you feel better.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's anything too serious, like surgery or structural, or whatever. But for me to voluntarily sit
Right,
there,
right.
it's bad.
That's rare. Um, cool. Damn. But you know, hopefully he'll bounce back. Um, Ethan, you want to talk about Kev's the beginning of it all?
Yeah, sure. But before we get into it, I just want to say something funny real quick. I thought it was much worse, your shoulder, because Joan, after you guys had a bit of a beatdown this past week, came into the captain's chat saying, the sky is falling, like Kevin's out, his shoulder's messed up. How about we get Sean? And we had and we had a very robust conversation debate about that, but the way he made it sound, I was like, oh man, his shoulder must be, like you might need surgery or something.
Well, it's
So
bad. It's bad. I'm telling you right now, it's bad. It's just that
okay,
um I've been dealing with shoulder issues all my life playing baseball and stuff. So I've learned to manage it and mask it, and then whatever curtail my game accordingly. It is bad. I might have to go on medically from work. But
Mm.
by the way, it's like everyone forgets that we don't have Jeff. Jeff was our number two pick and supposed to be a big part of the team, and we had him for half of one game, and he played with his existing injury, that he's no longer playing with. So let's not forget about that. I feel like that's being overlooked. But whatever you guys decide. I was victim of injury or absenteeism at the end of last season with which Kenny and Louis. And there were all these suggestions about who we should get, and it's like everybody automatically feels you should get somebody. And I was like, you know what, bro? I got here with my guys. This is who I picked. I'd rather just go down with my guys. If we win, it'll be that much more rewarding. If we lose, whatever, we went down with our guys. But now, like, it's like a free for all this season, and then we're the only guys getting pushback when we make a suggestion. You know, I think I already told guys what I feel about it. I think Josh was the move, but whatever you guys feel is appropriate is good with me. I'm not giving up, and if I can breathe, I'll be there next week.
I respected what you did last season in the finals game. Definitely undermanned against Sean's team. Um, but yeah, I really respected you just like saying we're gonna roll with our guys. We actually approved a sub for you guys. Did Joan let you know?
Uh, yeah, I think he did. Will? Is it Will?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we only have Will for like a game. Will's going away, so it's like, yeah, obviously having Will is nice, but he's limited in his availability as well. So it's like whatever it is, what it is kind of thing. But it's super temporary.
did not know that. Joan didn't
Yeah,
say anything. I just figured, okay, we approved Will. Will's gonna be there for you guys. So I did. Is he gonna come
yeah,
back and ask for another sub? I don't know, but
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
For
I
now,
saw
it's
Will and Joan at the gym yesterday, and it was like I saw Joan, and then oh no, I had talked to Joan. He's like, yo, I think we're getting some pushback on Sean, but I think we're good with Will. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever, fine, anything. We need something. We need a body. And then I go to the gym. I see Joan, and then I see Will. I'm like, yo, nice. You gonna like play or whatever? He's like, nobody told me shit. So like, I think like Joan like offered him up without even talking to him initially. So that's where we're at. So I think we have like a game or two with him if everything is approved and goes well. But I don't know. We'll figure it out.
all right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Will Chu to Team Kevin Diaz. Um, so Kevin, we have some questions for you.
That's
I don't know
away.
if you watched the last podcast episode, but it's similar format. So we want to start with your sports history, like going all the way back. Um, and the question is, how did you first get into basketball?
First get into basketball. So from the very beginning, obviously, like most of us, sports junkie into everything, and my parents put me in everything. My dad was very involved. He was an athlete and very hands on, very willing to do everything with me. I loved it. That was my favorite things to do. Mainly was like go to the batting cage with my dad. And then, you know, I was a very, very like high energy kid. So once baseball was over, my parents were like, "There's no way that you're not gonna not do something else." So then once baseball ended and basketball season came around, they threw me in basketball. Once basketball season ended, they threw me in soccer and football. So I was just moving, from sport to sport all year round. And then once I played all three sports: basketball, baseball, and football, up until sophomore year in high school or junior year. Maybe yeah. I stopped playing football and basketball sophomore year in high school, or the end of my sophomore year, so I could just focus on baseball because that was what I was most excelling at. So I was like traveling, showcases, and all that stuff. And I did run track in the off season. That's what like
Hmm.
kept me in shape without like the risk of contact injury.
Mhm.
But just like through high school and college, I never stopped playing basketball. I always loved basketball. Football was easy to give up. Football, like you can't just pick up a ball and play football. You need equipment, a field. You need like obviously people. Basketball, I used to go to the YMCA by me when I lived in Staten Island, and they would run full all day, every day. So I'd show up like all jacked up on pre-workout, ready to go, and I was like a dog. You put the ball in front of me, I would just like forego my entire workout, play basketball for 3 hours, and then of course I
Love
go to
it.
the gym for another 2 hours. So I spent 5 hours at the gym, but that's neither here nor there. But I never stopped playing ball. I love playing basketball.
Very cool story. Um, who did you root for growing up, and
Knicks.
like team wise, and who did you emulate your game after?
Oh, the Knicks for sure. Die hard Knicks fan.
What
Uh,
era of the Knicks was that?
like I would say, let me see. I was old enough to remember the 2001 NBA championship against the Spurs. They lost. That's like Sprewell, Allen Houston,
That was a good team.
Marcus Camby era. Like that was my Knicks.
Hmm.
And then obviously we suffered for so many years, and then now, you know, the Knicks have been revitalized, and the entire city is back on the bandwagon. But I wrote it out with the Knicks through the peaks and valleys and deep, deep, deep valleys with the Knicks. I'm talking like Langston Holloway. Oh my God, the oh my God, Ray Felton days. Like, oh, terrible, just terrible. Um, but I was always huge, huge. Fantasy sports really ruined sports for me because I remember like just being die hard my team, and then as fantasy sports came in, I became like a fantasy junkie. And if your team's not good, and then you have betting interest in players, kind of like spreads you too thin. But player wise, who did I? I mean, like prime. Russell Westbrook was like who I always thought like I wanted to be like, just like electric on the floor, athletic, high energy, do a little bit of everything. Maybe not the best at one thing, but just like all heart, all grit. And I think I admired his game. And then if I could compare it on a super poor, I'm talking poor man's level, Russell Westbrook is like kind of who I'd like to emulate myself from.
I definitely see elements of his game in your game. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right, I want to bring in Steve here. Steve, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I see the Russell Westbrook. I also like the story, the YMCA. I think that's super relatable. Like, I feel like all of us, whether it's a YMCA, an LA Fitness, um, uh, if you're in college, you have intramurals or whatever, or like a sports complex to play in. You play for like 3 hours. You
Oh
lift
my God.
you
Yeah.
the whole day after, and you do it again. It's almost
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
a class to kind of to play basketball. So
Yeah. 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 Everyone wants to play every other sport. So when I was in college playing baseball, we'd we'd overlap at some point of the season. We'd overlap, and it would be baseball, basketball, and volleyball would always be there. And I forget exactly like what time of day and who was there when, but there would be a common time when we were all there. And the basketball guys come in the gym and they'll see like the tee and they'll automatically pick up the bat. Like, oh, don't touch my shit. They're like, I see you playing basketball all day. They're like, all right, let's mess around with the tee for a little bit, and then the baseball team would run with the basketball team. We mix it up, and for hours, man. When you have like that's another big one. We have like a nice facility in college, and you can continue playing in like some kind of organized, nice facility, man. It's oh
yeah.
my God, those are the days, man. Hours.
Do you feel like, so I know you're a big baseball guy and that's what you ultimately chose growing up and you continue to play today and at a very high level. Do you feel like there's any transition of skill or a technique from either sports, like whether like basketball's helping your baseball game or baseball's helping your basketball game?
Yeah, definitely. For some reason, and this has been like I don't know, like an ongoing debate for years about why baseball translates to all the other sports. Some guys have that theory. I think mine is like we have to, I guess, synchronize your entire body in an athletic movement to be that perfect, like within a millimeter with something in your hand. So between the athleticism in the body and the timing and the act of hitting, you have a very versatile athletic profile for baseball. And then the touch of throwing.
Yeah.
Like you need to have touch. That's why I think somebody told me this recently, actually, like because I play a lot of golf too, and I'm a very good putter. For whatever reason, I'm a good putter. I have good feel. So baseball is a good feel. I think it's like gauging distance and throwing,
Oh yeah.
plus the athletic movement of swinging the bat from the ground up, like transferring power from the ground up to your entire body. For some reason, baseball translates to everything. Like I can play. I've also played all the other sports my whole life, but I've always found that anybody that I played ball with, they can throw a football, they can shoot a basketball, they can dribble. That I think it's a feel thing. You
Yeah,
know?
I definitely agree with you. I think a key part of it as well, like you mentioned, like that depth perception, right?
Yeah,
That helps hand-eye coordination. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
catching a basketball, seeing how fast that comes at you, whether gauging the speeds, right,
yeah,
is very important.
yeah.
And
Your hand-eye
obviously,
coordination.
yep.
Your hand-eye coordination. I mean, there's nothing else I think that can give you better hand-eye coordination than baseball. So that's probably plays a huge factor in it translating to every other sport as well.
No, yeah,
And
definitely.
basketball is another thing that people don't realize. Baseball gets catches a lot of flack for being like low intensity or a lot of downtime or boring or slow, but it's the only sport where every time you're engaged in something, it's a max effort sport. So there's no jogging in baseball. If
Right.
you like really more like
Mhm.
when you swing, it's like 90%. When you run, every time you run, it's 100%. When you throw, it's like 90%. Basketball is a lot of jogging. Football has a fair amount of jogging too if you're not involved in the play. So baseball's the shit, man. We should start a baseball podcast after this.
Go baseball.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And you played in college, right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I
All
did.
right. That's dope, and it's good to have diverse athletes, and anyone looking to get more into baseball. We have someone who can definitely speak about it. I remember funny story. I'm not, don't want to throw any shade at you, but you brought in your device, right?
Oh shit.
It was a ball machine. These balls were like the size of like golf balls, a little bit smaller than this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
like wiffle balls. They're like mini wiffle balls, almost like ping
Yeah,
pong.
yeah, yeah.
And there's like he like whips out this bag, and it's like a pitching machine. So you throw in you put like 100 ping pong balls in, and it's like
Yeah,
going 60, 70 miles an hour, super
yeah,
fast.
yeah. And
So
we're
like,
using like a little stick, the stick to hit.
yes.
Yeah.
And he brings a stick that's like the size of a pencil, but like mad long. It looks like a magic wand, but like long. It's like a pole.
A magic wand. I would have said like
Yeah.
a broomstick or something, but I guess a magic wand
He
works.
brings it out the whole thing. He's like, I need to do my, 35-minute warm up or whatever. I'm like, no, we want to see something. Me and Josh Lure, they're
Oh,
like, no, we want to
terrible.
see something. So we're like, hey, can we try? Me and Josh, the amateurs, complete amateurs. He's like, hey, can we try? So he sets up this whole thing, long wires, everything. And when I'm seeing it, we're at the squash court where it's set up. So it's very private, like it's gated, like all the balls will stay in there.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm seeing it from afar. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look that hard. Because like Josh is up at bat. He's like whiffing every shot. And then what's it called? He like finally connects after like one or two, right? I'm like, all right, it's my turn, right? So first I pick up the stick, right? This stick is like 20 pounds. Like this thing is so heavy. Like it's so heavy for like a
Yeah,
long stick. I'm like, holy shit, you have to swing this thing, right? And then
yeah,
I'm standing near the machine where it's throwing the pitch, right? I'm at bat. This thing is flying. It's only going like 60 miles an hour or 70 miles an hour or
yeah. But
something.
you're close.
Oh yeah, we are
It's like
close.
30
That's
feet.
true.
It's
That
like
that is
30 feet. Yeah,
it's not from pitcher mound to the
yeah,
home plate.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't think about that. But anyway, it's super fast. And I'm like, I can't even see it. I'm like swinging, I'm whiffing everything. But after like 20, like 20 swings, right? I finally like kind of clipped one or whatever, and Josh like clipped two. And then Kev, no warm up. We're like, get in there, bro. We want to see a home run.
Oh my
We were
god.
hyping him up so bad. He was so mentally unstable from this, I think. And then he goes there and he's like about to like he's like, yo, I gotta smash this one. And I see him like the form is clean, like everything's clean, but he did not connect. He did
They
not
connect to like
connect.
20, 30 swings. I
He
was
hit
like,
like
Jesus
like
Christ.
20 pitches and he didn't hit one. And we're
So,
like, bro.
so it's funny. It's funny. Ethan, he goes like, I'm sitting down, I'm watching, I'm like, fuck. Usually, so when I do it by myself, I'll bunt for like 5 minutes. I won't even take a swing. I'll bunt, and then I'll swing with one hand, then I'll swing with another, then I'll swing slowly, and then I'll get into gradually hitting. I have to do it. That's my thing. So I'm like, all right, they're here. Fuck it. What are you gonna do? So they're sitting down, hype me up. I'm seeing them on the bench, like, yeah, let's go. And then five swings, 10 swings, 20 swings. I'm like, okay, let's just wrap this up. To put your phone away, get the
Kev basically
elevator.
said,
We're
yo, you
out of
guys
here.
gotta leave. And me
I'm
and
like,
Josh just
I'm like, damn, bro, shit. I was like, yo, leave the phone. I'll record. I'll send you when I when I make contact. I'll send you the video. I was
But
like, man, bro, these guys suck. I was like, it's all right. They'll come to the Cop game at City Field and they'll see me hit a bomb, but nobody showed up. So whatever.
that was a funny story, but that was an awesome setup.
Yeah, it's funny.
But yeah, that was my story with Kevin and baseball.
Good
Uh,
stuff.
I
Good time.
wanna I wanna know more about the baseball thing. So I heard you played in college, and
Yeah.
so to play in college, you have to be really good in high school. I don't even know like what position you play. Like how good were you? Were you thinking about going pro in like a league somewhere? Like tell us more about the baseball stuff.
Yeah. So in high school, I was good. Stand out in high school. Um, I got an offer to go to. Actually, Steve, did you go to Stony Brook?
yes, I went to Sunnybrook.
Okay. So I had an offer to go to Stony Brook. Went up there with my family. Didn't really love it. I also like what I was looking for at that time was very immature. What I cared about was very immature. I was like, the facilities, this. That's, I wasn't interested. At that point in my life, I was like hanging out, and I was like, I don't want to be far from home from my friends. Baseball was an afterthought, which kind of changed the whole like course of my life, how it played out. But I wouldn't change a thing. Um, so I ended up going to a smaller school closer to home, which is St. Joe's University. Uh, and I went nuts in college. I was an All American. I was either a first or second team All American all 4 years in college.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like top 10 in the country and like everything. It was a small D3 school, but still, like, here's the thing with D1, two, and three that it's a common misconception. People think that like you have to go D1 if you want to pursue your career, and that does make it slightly easier. But if you're that good, they will find you.
Yeah.
100%. So if a guy, let's just use, I'll use basketball terms. If you go to a D1 school and you average, 20 a game, 20 and 10 at a D1 in a big time D1 school, you're going to get the attention, right? You're probably, an upper echelon player or whatever. If you go to a D2 school, 20 and 10 is not going to do it, but like 30 and 15 might. Mm-hmm. And at D3 school, the guys that are dropping 40 and 20, which exist, those guys, whatever, do growth spurts, lack of talent, play like development over time. People bloom at their own time in their career. So just because you go to a D3 school, in my opinion, doesn't mean you're completely written off. So I kind of performed in a way that I got attention. So afterwards, I got a offer to play in New Mexico, an independent pro league. It was still pay for play. Like I could have said I was a professional ball player. Took it. Then I had this little thing with I went to a pre-draft workout in Blue Claw Stadium for the Philadelphia Phillies. This was the Philly scout that caught wind of my name. I don't know how. Actually, he was looking at a pitcher that I faced my junior year, and he didn't know who I was at the time. And I went 4 for 4 off the kid. I hit like a home run, 2 triples. I went nuts off the guy. So now he started asking questions, started following me, whatever. And then he invited me to their pre-draft workout during the summer. I didn't do that good at the workout. Plus, this was like right in the middle of fist pumping in Jersey Shore. I'm pretty sure I was like hungover and sleepless from the night before. Didn't really take it serious, but the door was still open, but it was becoming a little more effort. And then I started to see like the talent gap. And I was like, I was going to be a fireman too. I had already taken the test. So like that dream started to wither away. I played at a high level. If I could have kept going and maybe done like the single A thing, rookie ball around there with very little reward. It would have been just to say that I did it. No monetary compensation. It would have been a cool experience. But then once the fire department started calling and I realized I could just travel the world to play with the fire department, I was like, let me just start making responsible decisions. And, I went from there.
Makes a lot of sense. But man, all American, top 10, everything. That sounds like damn,
Yeah.
you were nasty. Like
Yeah, I was
you
good. I
don't
was
want to
good, man.
you don't want
I
to
was
say
good.
it, but that
I
means
was
you were
good,
nasty.
man. I'm a shell of what it was because I can't move the same. But and especially the worst part about it, I mean, the the worst gift of mine that has been stripped from me is my ability to throw. I can't throw anymore. I used to be able to throw like in the 90s, and now if I could get it over 80, I'd be surprised. So my shoulders are gone, but just like in basketball, eventually, like you can touch the rim, then maybe the net, then the bottom of the backboard, and then next thing you know, you need a knee replacement. Sucks. It
Uh,
sucks. How old are you,
it's a good
Ethan?
enough. I'm 39.
What's starting to go? What is the first thing that you saw go?
Everything, man. It's exactly like you said. I also used to be able to dunk and jump way higher, move faster. I think my mind is still there, but just the body can't move. And now I have like nagging, knee injuries. I don't recover as quickly, so I can't play as much as I want to. So it's exactly like you said. And
Yeah.
Steve was also super athletic. I remember Steve, you want to tell us a little bit about how good you were?
I was just I was more springy. I mean, I did not play anywhere close to what I play like today. I was solely athletic type player, just like good first step, can also get up, could also dunk, but I changed my game completely. And
Really?
yeah, I don't play like that at all anymore. I,
Yeah.
I don't even have the mindset. Like I don't even attempt to do that type of stuff.
Yeah. I can't let it go, man. I can't let it go. I just do
I
dumb
respect
shit.
it. That's good.
Hard, man. You know what it is? I think being a fireman does incentivize me to keep my body young.
That's
So
true.
I give it a lot of attention that not I don't know if maybe you need the mindset or the time or the effort or the priority. Your priorities change. It takes a lot of time for me. Like have the leg sleeves. We got a cold plunge in my firehouse, the sauna, the massages. Like I just started going. The hot yoga. I went to a place. Actually, you guys should definitely try it out. The Stretch Lab. You ever
But
heard of it?
I heard of it.
Have you gone?
I have not. I've been to
You
something.
gotta go. You gotta go.
Gotta go.
I couldn't believe the difference. Like, and I've been doing hot yoga for like almost 10 years. And what I got from one session of the stretch lab was like a month's worth of hot yoga. I could not believe it.
That's pretty
Hmm.
crazy. Because have you guys seen You guys know Paolo, I think it's Banchero on the Magic. That he was a first round pick, like
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
6'9" forward, 6'10". He's like pretty much kind of like a way better Ben Simmons, but like a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
more confident Ben Simmons, right? He had like this video come out recently, and he does like a 30-minute like full body stretch. Like this dude's doing splits like before his NBA games and practices.
Mm.
It's really impressive like how flexible he is, but
Yeah.
he's only 20 like 2 or like 23. He's very young. Um but he takes care of his body like super super well. He does the stretches. I don't stretch like that anymore. I used to be like that, but I feel like now I just got lazy, or like I just haven't built it in my habit.
Yeah.
And I've lost that flexibility. But he just was like explaining like how it prevents injuries, how it helps him like move better, all this stuff. So the stretch lab thing that you do and the yoga stuff, that definitely goes like you know
Yeah.
a long.
Are you watching the starting five on
I haven't
Netflix?
watched it yet. I watched like the intro, like just like the first 10 minutes of the first episode.
It's funny. I basically fast forward through everything except like LeBron talking about how he approaches the game, his warm up, his preparation, like his mindset of how he just goes about everything. Really, basically after you watch it, you realize like all he cares about is his family and being the greatest basketball player ever. And the amount of effort he puts in just for his body is insane, insane. It's just so much work. But then like, you know, I don't think I mean if you watch it, obviously his like he's not looking in the rim anymore, but his head's still touching the rim, dude. He's
Yeah.
still
Mm.
getting up. And
Yeah.
that's from, you know, it's possible. It's
Yep.
definitely possible to maintain it. It's just, you stop running, you stop sprinting, you stop stretching.
Right.
Your priorities change. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're eating
It's
differently. The diet is huge.
it's too time consuming, man. I've thought about it.
Definitely.
I'm like there are days where I watch like The Last Dance or something else to
Yeah,
like get me all like pumped up. Like I love that the Redeem Team documentary also on
yeah, yeah,
Netflix,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
I'm
yeah.
love
like
that one.
I'm gonna wake up super early like Kobe, and I'm
Kobe
gonna get that,
Bryant.
I'm gonna get that, like athleticism back. I'm gonna get back to dunking and impress everybody on the court. And then the day after when that subsides, I'm like, do I really want to devote that much time? Like
It's every
basketball
day.
really, I love basketball, but is it that important to me,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, I think the way I make sense of it now is I don't know if I'm hacking my brain to just think that way, but firefighting is huge. My body has to be like
Good
I
shape.
can't feel like shit ever at work. I have to be able to perform. People rely on me, like guys at work and people. But then the big one is like Steve. How old are you? We're the same age, right?
33?
33. Okay, I'm 34, and he's 39. You guys ever talk about having kids?
Yeah.
Think
Well,
about
not
it?
together, but
Yeah. Well,
Talk about having kids.
no comment on that. You guys, whatever your prerogative is. But the big one is like, we are generally having kids later in life, and I don't want to be, I need to be how my father was with me and how I want to be that way, active and engaged in the activity with my children. God willing, I have kids. Um, that would be my goal, my true passion is be like this for them as long as possible. So that's what motivates me. Those two things. It's
beautiful. I like that. I like that a lot.
yeah,
Um,
that what keeps me going, man.
Want to do a quick time check here. We have Kevin needing to go in a couple minutes, so we have some questions remaining. We have some quick hitter questions for you, but before that, really want to ask you about your Jackson Park history, and if you have a story there. Like, what's the story behind moving to JP? How did that go? And what do you remember about like a first impression when you started playing pickup at JP?
Uh, okay. So my girlfriend was from Long Island. I was in Staten Island, and we came to the conclusion that it was time to move in. But she kind of was. She works in Long Island. My firehouse is like closer to Staten Island, so we naturally decided to meet in the middle. I wanted to move to Manhattan. She wanted to move to Long Island City for whatever reason. I had no idea. So I applied for all those like affordable housing lotteries, and I got picked for every single one. So I
Mhm.
think that a certain amount of percentage has to be allocated for like minorities, and then on top of that, civil service. So I checked two boxes, so they kept calling me. So I checked basically every building in Long Island City except this one. So of course,
Mhm.
after I was looking at her, I was like, I like this one, I like this one. She sends me this one. She's like, non-negotiable. We're moving here. I was like, we're just getting. I'm looking for a deal, and all these other places. She's like, not happening. This is the nicest one. So I was like, whatever you want, whatever you want. Then we ended up getting a COVID deal anyway, so it wasn't that bad. It was almost the same shit. I'm like, all right, cool. So we came here. I was in love with it. The amenities, obviously, we all know. We don't even need to discuss like, you know, the building. It's insane. It's the nicest building in Queens to me. But then I started, spending 5 hours a day in the amenities building. I'd start off playing golf, then leave my shit there, then lift, then go play basketball and sit in the sauna. And that's when my girl realized, shit, we should have went with the affordable housing thing because I spent way too much time in that building. And then I was running, just regular pickup, shoot around. I ran into Steve, JP Daddy, and Steve, obviously he's the best. Like, always introduces himself, asks your name, pick up, and always knows everybody first name base. I'm like, how do you remember all these guys' names, bro? I don't like. I was calling Steve bro for like a month because I didn't remember his name. He remembers everyone else's name. I'm like, yo. So then he invites me in the chat, and then the group me. I mean, the WhatsApp was just like popping off, and I just wanted to be there every time. And then we like organically made friends. In the beginning, I treat everything now like I treat like the firehouse. You like keep your mouth shut, don't say anything, earn your way into like the group, a little more reserved, then throw a little jab here, break this guy's balls there, he's talking shit, and then then let your game speak for yourself a little bit, hustle, jump, whatever, hit a couple threes, and then develop some relationships. And then I have what I truly believe is more than a couple of lifelong friendships from this building. So I hope it continues. That's it.
Love that story. The 5 hours in the amenities building is
But I
true.
don't leave. I don't leave,
I
bro.
see Kev every day there. So I
Oh
know
my
that time slot is wide when he's there. So
yeah, bro. I forget it when during the summer when the pool's there. It's I just fucking set up a tent up there and never leave. It's great.
love it.
All
Yeah.
right. We got five quick hitter questions, and I think we gotta let you go. Steve, you wanna kick off the first one and we'll alternate?
Yeah. So first question. You love shooting from the corners. These were pulled from Ethan's stats. So apparently you love shooting from the corners. Do you prefer a certain side, like a left corner three or a right corner three, or doesn't matter?
No, I don't like the shot. I'd rather shoot from like the top or like the, the wing. I don't like the shot, but that for some reason I always find myself there. It's easier for me to operate or lose somebody and get open in that because I don't want to bring the ball up. So we usually have two guards, and I end up being a three. But then like every year we play, we have like a true big. So I'm like, all right, this is just my spot. And then I kept hitting them. I was like, all right, everyone thinks this is my spot, so I'll just continue shooting. But I'd rather shoot. I'd rather shoot from like the wing, to be honest.
Wow, misconception
Yeah.
cleared. Everyone thought you're like a corner three specialist.
So like,
All right.
so like you'll find me in the gym now. I'll be like, shit. I'll put up like 20, 30 shots, whatever, and I'll be like, all right, I guess since everyone thinks this is my shot, I got to put up a couple and whatever. But quick little known fact, I don't like that shot.
Very, very interesting. All right, next question. Who's winning the World Series this year? The Yankees or the Dodgers?
That's a great question. I haven't put much thought into who's going to win because I'm like impartial to it. I don't mind seeing the Yankees win. There's a lot of salty Met fans out there that they're like Yankee haters. But if I had to guess, put my money on it, I would say the Dodgers at 7.
Wow.
Dodgers in
Yeah,
7. All right, all right. Okay.
The next question we have, I think you might have answered this already, but what's the best health hack you've made a part of your health routine recently?
fasting, fasting,
Fasting. Okay.
fasting is the best thing for you.
And
Again,
how are you doing it?
fasting.
You're like the whole day fasting? Like, what are you doing
Nah,
specifically?
nah. Really, I pick and choose my times of the year where I'll try to do. I have a lot of things that I want to do and things that I actually do. So I'll do intermittent fasting from like January to September. Then after September, October, like around now, baseball's done, golf's done. I can put on a little extra weight. I'll just eat whatever, like build my body back up again. And then January, like New Year, I'll do like a 3 to 5 day fast, water fast.
Wow.
And then I'll start transitioning into intermittent fasting. And my intention is to do 124-hour fast a week, but that's not that easy with work and here and then my girl, forget it. But I would say for anyone who's interested in like longevity, performance, and overall general health, fasting, the sauna is amazing. Um, no sugar, obviously, and don't eat within like 4 hours of going to bed. Don't eat breakfast and don't eat carbs. All those things.
Just a
Just
whole checklist, right?
sleep.
Oh man.
Oh my God. We
Oh,
got
that's
so
wonderful.
many serious like fitness people at JP. I love it. I love it,
Yeah,
man. All
yeah.
right. I'm gonna try to do more fasting because of your answer.
You got to do the
All right.
fasting, bro. And as you get older, bro, the carbs are killing. It's so bad for you.
Oh yeah, I already started doing that. If I eat a heavy lunch, like I just need a nap because the carbs just kill me. So I know
Yeah,
about
it's
that one.
bad. Yeah,
Um,
the insulin imbalance in your uh,
Kevin
what's it called?
Huberman over here.
Yeah, bro. Obviously, yeah. All you gotta do is just add a link and click the link here for
Yeah.
Huberman fasting, whatever. That'll cover all bases.
Okay.
all right, two more questions. I think this one's me. Okay, so let's assume we start JP Baseball League and you're the captain with the first pick. Who you taking first in the JP Baseball League?
Look. This kid right here. Hold on. I just saw this. How do I turn this around? With my boy right here. Can I
Who's it?
zoom? Can I zoom? Shit, I can't zoom.
We see
Oh,
the court. We see the courtyard.
there was a kid. He was just having a catch. Just I was like, wow, it's the first time I ever see anyone having a catch on there. All right. First pick.
Do you know
Who do
anyone
you
else
who do
playing
you
baseball?
There's a couple guys that I bumped into at the gym, but shit personalities. I don't want to talk to them. It's not all about talent, man. You got to have camaraderie. You have to have good, like, you know, you have
Yeah.
to have a good vibe, good chemistry. After seeing Josh make more contact than Steve off my golf ball pitching machine, I'm gonna go with Josh.
All right.
Sure.
Damn, Josh Liu, number one pick in JP Basketball League and the Baseball League.
Wow. Giving him
Damn.
too much credit. That's hilarious. Okay, I got the last question for you, and then we'll let you go. For next season, this is going back to the JP League for basketball. If you can choose a first-time captain, who do you want to see?
I know, I know. Can I voice my opinion on who's going to be last time captain?
Oh, yeah, yeah, sure.
All right,
Whatever you
yeah,
prefer.
I mean, yeah, we don't even need to answer that. Um, Joe. First time captain. Love you, Joe. First time captain.
Think of
Shit.
any of the new rookies, like you just anyone you want to nominate just to see like what they would do. Um, and then some of the regulars, we already talked about Josh Liu, Brian Mulvihill. Um, who else hasn't been on?
No. See, I want all those kids having a catch again. Um, I want to see somebody be a captain that should be a captain. Like Josh. Josh is not vocal enough to be someone I would want to be a captain, but uh,
There's France, there's Tyler Morris. Um, um,
yeah, Tyler would be a good, interesting dark horse pick. Sean was a captain. You guys were captains. I was a
yeah,
captain. It's like everyone that like I know was already a captain.
James
Luis was a captain. Oh, you know
Monks.
what? You know what? Wasn't wait, Brandon was a captain, right?
Yeah, Brandon was a
Oh
Yeah,
captain.
shit, everyone
once.
was a captain. So it's got to be someone new.
That's tough, actually.
Yeah.
But there's just like you said, there's a lot of guys that already been captain, and
Yeah. Shit. Okay. Mm,
It's hard. Yeah, a lot of people have been captain. Would you be captain again, Kevin? How's your captain experience?
my captain experience was good. I would be
Okay.
captain again. I would
Okay.
be captain again. Yeah. Plus, there's an extra layer of motivation which I don't really need, but like I enjoyed, and I like. Not that I'm a control freak, but I like being responsible for my own actions, my own choices.
Mm,
Like so voicing what I feel is appropriate with playing time, and then managing is the thing. It's not all about implementing the right scheme or managing like time. It's managing personalities. That's what I enjoy the most, and that's what I thrive in. Because X's and O's in basketball, I'm garbage at. I'm going to give you 100% effort, and then I might be in the wrong spot or do something stupid. But knowing, like, identifying who would be the guy, the X's and O's guy, who do I want to be on the bench, managing minutes, who can I go to when I have an opinion about something else?
Mhm.
That's what I enjoy and thrive in. So
That's
I would like to see shit. I don't really have a good question, a good answer for that because
what
everyone's been a captain.
what about
yeah.
how about somebody in the JP League you've never been on a team with that you want to play with?
Oh, I was just thinking about this the other day. Who have I never played with? Oh, Ethan. Ethan.
Yeah, let's
100%.
go.
100%.
I
I
was
was
thinking
just
about
thinking
that
about this yesterday.
whenever
Because
we play pickup. We
you guys played right after my game, and then I was sitting down with Steve, and then you guys were giving your whole little spiel, and I was like I'm very like responsive to that. Like I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I'm like Ron Burgundy. If you put on the teleprompter, I will repeat it. I'm very receptive to like coaching and shit. And I humbly accept the fact or that I'm not a good X's and O's guy as a basketball, and I know you are. So I would love that. Yeah.
All right, we'll make it
Yeah.
happen one of these seasons, man. I want to
Yeah,
play with you
yeah.
too. Every time we play pickup, it's
We
natural.
have a
It's
good yeah,
there.
yeah,
And I
we do.
and
We
I
do very well.
yeah,
We definitely do
I
very well.
love the effort. I love effort, guys. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm down for it.
yeah. Let's make it happen, man.
All right,
All
man.
right.
It's been a lot of fun having you on. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
no doubt, no doubt. Now I gotta go save the neighborhood. I gotta go to work.
All right,
So
bro.
thank you guys for having me. Whenever you like, I'd love to do it again. And let's see. Um, by the way, we're getting Sean and Will for next week, so you guys got to start.
All right, bro. Thanks,
All
Kev.
right, boys, enjoy, man. Talk
Catch
soon.
you
I'll see you.
later.
I'll see you in the building.
See
Sounds good.
ya.
Later.
Love Kevin.
Great guest. Kevin Diaz, everybody. Cool. So like let's talk about the games, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Who was in the 6:30 spot? Let's get right into it. I have it
That's
right
Kevin's
here.
team, and
Oh, this game.
Kevin and Mo, right?
Yeah, so oh my goodness. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen the score for this game, I think they set a JP League record. Most teams scored 88 points and won by 52. I think they scored 55 in the first half. Like I walked into the gym and the score was like 9-33 and there were 12 minutes left on the clock and JC and Josh Schwartz was there and I was like, is this the first half or the second half? And they were like, this is the first half. And I was like, no way. 10 minutes running time have gone by. They've already scored 33 points. It's incredible. Um, what do you remember about this game, Steve?
I watched the whole game. Um, it didn't start off like the first 5 minutes. It was like a 6 point game, nothing too crazy, right? And then like all of a sudden, Mo's team was feeling it. Like Brandon hit I feel like he hit like three threes in a row. Um, they were just raining on them. Like and Mo was killing it on I think effort wise, like this team was all over the place. The other team just couldn't figure anything out offensively. Just not great passes, no great setup, tons of turnovers. It's brutal. 55 points and a half is insane. And that's what most team had in the first half, 55. Even in an NBA game, that's a lot. This is running clock with you know, less than 48, less than yeah, so it's 44 minutes, so 4 minutes less than an NBA game with running clock. So you gotta think about that in perspective. So man, that was very, very brutal. And then, obviously if you're down 55-15 the first half, you're down 40 already. That's second half is not going to be easy for you to come back.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, to also be fair, Kevin had that
Yeah, he was out.
shoulder injury, and he's a key contributor for that team.
Yep.
They didn't have Jeff Jang, who's out for the whole season with a knee injury, major injury. Get better soon, Jeff. And
Yep.
so they definitely need a sub. But yeah, after they kind of had maybe like a 30-point lead or something like that, so I watched this game twice. I'm kind of a sicko like that because I I watched it the first time obviously to do stats, but then I was thinking like uh I kind of wonder like how they lost by so much. Like what are they doing? Like is it fixable? Did Mo Money Mo Buckets like play that much better? And
Yeah.
so I actually watched it a second time and they definitely gave up at a certain point, so I want to be fair. Like they're not trying max effort and getting beaten by 52. But I think some of the things that they're doing are fixable. Like there's definitely issues with them communicating on defense where in the half court set on like pick and rolls, they're not communicating, so two defenders ended up defending one player, and then that other offensive player would get to the 3-point line. They would pass it over as either like Andrew Cho or Anthony, and then they hit their threes when you leave them that open. So they need to communicate better on defense. Not just in the half court set. Another thing that I saw was in transition. They were horrible in transition defense. They wouldn't be flexible enough to kind of like pick up in transition. It's like, oh, this guy's on my side, so I need to go defend it. In various instances, I saw people going over to like strictly defend their guy in transition, which led to guys just getting open for either three or like a layup. They wouldn't stop the ball with that same issue. It's like, oh, my guy's in the corner, so I guess I'm going to defend the guy in the corner. The guy brings the ball down the middle and just goes up for a layup right in the middle. So they definitely need to talk about that. Those are fixable. Um, and they need to guard the three better. So Leo and Joan have a habit of playing really, really off their player, and they're like camping in the middle, almost like what Sean does when he plays. Um, but it was just a bad mismatch too. I'm not trying to like call them out too much. Like Leo is trying to guard Brandon. Brandon is super quick, right? So
Mhm.
it makes sense that he's kind of like playing off him, but he's playing so off of him, and Brandon has that ability to hit the three. Jone was playing off Andrew Cho, and Andrew Cho is like a 3-point specialist in my mind. He doesn't drive all that much. And uh yeah, when you give him that much space, he's a really good 3-point shooter, I would say. So I felt like it was kind of like a perfect storm of um yeah, not doing the little things, playing fundamental basketball, and also Mo Money, Mo Buckets did hit their shots. They shot 44% from three over 36 attempts. So yeah, they definitely put up the points.
Yep. Great job for Mo Money, Mo Buckets. They've been on the come up. We lost to them the week before, and they played very well as well. So I'll give them a lot of credit. And yeah, hopefully those are some good insights you kind of provided. So hopefully Jones team can can kind of learn from that and maybe make those adjustments and see if there's a different story at the end of next week.
Yeah. And one other thing I saw, which is a repeat of what I said last week, is Brian Lee. So Brian Lee is so good when he drives to the basket. He either gets fouled,
Yeah.
gets a good layup attempt, or he draws in a defender and he kicks it out to an open guy and creates a shot for them essentially. And I know that he really practices his three. Whenever I walk into the gym and I see him warming up, he's practicing his 3-point shot. He popped off, I think, the week before where he shot like 3 for 6, scored 15, 16, 18 points, something like that.
Hmm.
But I was looking at his stats and he's actually only shooting 20% from three over 25, 28 attempts or something
Hmm.
like that. Um, so I know he likes that three and he's practicing it, but right now, uh, it would probably be better for their team if he just tried to be aggressive. Like I never because he likes to have that quick first step and he likes to get by his defender like very cleanly. Like I never see him try to force the issue. And if
Yeah.
the defender beats him to the spot, he just like reverse 180 and like dribbles back out. I never see him do that move, right?
Yep.
So if I was coaching him, I would be like, you are way more valuable to us if you could just drive every single time. So
Yeah.
try to force the issue. And if it's not there, you have the handles to just like dribble it back out. Don't settle for that three because right now, like when the defender is right in front of you and you just shoot it, it's not falling for you right now. If you're feeling it, sure, like you hit two in a row, go for the heat check. But right now, if you're settling for 5 threes every game, I think I would
Yeah.
rather you be more aggressive off the dribble.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that's pretty much my recap of the game.
All right. You want to move on to the 7:30 game? That
Yeah.
was my game versus Ryan's team. What do you remember about that game?
Oh, I remember this was a great game. I think the score was pretty close early, and then I think Ryan's team, this is your team, Paw Patrol, Josh Schwartz captain, and then saving captain Ryan, Ryan Huz, the captain of that team. Some highlights from what I remember, KG was shooting pretty well. I think in the first half, I think he hit like some threes. Um,
Mhm.
some like not even like great shots, I feel like, but it was just like balm from that day. Um, and then they were hot in the first half. Uh, First half scores 37-26 in favor of Ryan. I think Schwartz missed like a couple threes in the first half, and he just his shots weren't falling. Um, and then in the second half, from what I remember, um, Schwartz really turned it up. Your effort, like those second chance opportunities, uh, on the rebounds, those little tips that you had just to keep the possession alive. And I think Joe Park, for me at least, from what I remember, made a huge impact when he steps into the game because he just brings like just energy and like aggression towards the basket, like inside. He only had 8 points, but I just remember he stepped on the court and his presence to me was really known. Like they were having a hard time just kind of keeping up with him. And I think that kind of elevated everybody else. I mentioned like your play as well. I feel like after that, Short started hitting some threes. You also had a few threes as well. Not sure about the offensive rebound. Yeah, like I'm looking at the offensive rebound numbers right now, 17, right, versus their 9. So yeah, the offensive rebounds are really what kept those possessions alive. You guys really fought your way back in the second half and you won by 3, which is very, very impressive. Very, very close game. I think if you guys didn't get those extra opportunities, it could have easily been saving Captain Ryan's win.
Totally agree. I was looking at the stats, I was thinking about the game, and we basically just grinded out a win. And saving Captain Ryan didn't have James Mung, and we had our full squad. So if James Mung was there, we might have lost this game, but we just kind of grinded it out. They shot better than us if you look at their shooting percentages. We just, I think, got to the line more. We grabbed more offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
If you look at our offensive rebound percentage, it was 40%.
Oh yeah, that's
So
massive.
anytime there was a rebound available when we shot it and it was available to be an offensive rebound, we grabbed 40% of them. So we were definitely hustling. And then we kept our turnovers lower. So we had 10 and they had 14. So we won the turnover battle and we eked out a win by 3.
Yeah,
It might have even gone into overtime. Louis got, a shot attempt at the end.
that's true.
So we barely escaped. Yeah.
Good game though. Very good game.
Yeah, we really wanted the win because we talked about how this could have playoff seeding implications later on. We were both 3-1, trying to get that bye going to the playoffs. So we are very happy to win. But I think we've been talking about this in previous weeks. Ryan's team is definitely on the come up. They're
Yep.
definitely gelling. They just look more comfortable, like they know where to go and be in certain spots, who should take the shots, and um, yeah, I was very impressed with their team. They're a strong team.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed. Last game?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, last game of that night was Taylor Swifties versus my team. We'll steal your lunch money. Taylor Swifties ended up winning 64-52. You want to share any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, so I was very surprised at the outcome. I picked your team to win last week on the podcast, and one of the things I said was if they are going to win, then they need to keep their turnovers low, and they did that. They kept their turnovers to just 12, which is a great number. They won the turnover battle. Your team had 18, and they came out in a zone I thought was very smart because they don't really have the personnel to guard like Zay and or you like one on one. And it's a risk because you guys have a lot of shooters on your team. And it's kind of just like a make or miss league. And you guys got your 3 open threes. They were like very, very open threes, and you just missed your threes. And I felt like kind of just boiled down to that really.
Yeah, I think you made a really good point there. 2-3 zone. I feel like they were not respecting our shooters and we had wide open shots, just couldn't hit. I shot terribly. John usually shoots pretty well in his first couple games from 3. He went 0 for 8. Jared went 0 for 7. JC had a pretty good game. He was 4 for 9 and 3. But yeah, other than that, like our other 3-point shooters, including myself, we were 2 for like 20 or something, or even more than that, 2 for 24 or something. But yeah, they were smart to do that. And even though they played 2-3 zones, Zay actually had his best game. The goal was to shut down like our big guys, but I think you know they we, they did a really a good strategy. I think also France had an amazing night.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had 15 points. He shot 6 for 11. I think before this game, I don't even know if he scored. I'm not sure, but he was hot. He really
Yeah.
led his team, um, spacing out the floor. Sen also had a really good shooting night. I think he
Hmm.
shot 44%. He hit some tough mids. He what's it called? Abused the matchup when we went man. He's a little bit quicker than most of us. He got to the line and shot 71%. So really, really good performances from Sen and France. And obviously, Josh Liu had 18 points. He did his thing. Very efficient shooting. But yeah, very good step ups from the supporting cast. And we'll steal your lunch money. Like, you need to go practice some threes. So if you ever go against the zone again, we definitely need to turn the ball over less and be a little bit more confident when we shoot threes. So yeah, definitely the story of our night.
Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna happen again. There were such open threes, and I like John's three. I like Jared's three. Jared's three is usually money too. I was very surprised he went 0 for 7. Maybe he
Yeah.
like lifted that day because he was feeling confident. Um, but yeah, I think if we did a repeat now, it's like, okay, Jared, go shoot 7 threes in a game. He's definitely making one or two. Definitely. So yeah, just freak day where it was poor shooting, and then the other team also played really, really well. I think they were hungry for a win. They definitely
Yeah.
played with a lot of effort.
They definitely played with way more effort than we did. I'll tell you that. And that's something our team at the end of the game, like, hey, look, like, we gotta play like we're the underdogs every game. We can't go in there thinking a win is a win or whatever. Right. So mentally, I think our team needs to really shift towards that underdog mentality. We need to fight for every possession, and we were definitely not. They put in way more effort, and kudos to them. They got the win. So we need to step it up if we want to win the next two regular season games. So we'll see.
Real quick is Curry made his season debut. He didn't
True.
contribute much. He looked like his ankle was still bothering him. How's he feeling? Do you know?
He's just not confident yet. It's just glad that we're just glad that he's able to just kind of step on the court and like just get into the flow, ebbs and flows of the game. But yeah, he's taking his time. We told him we're gonna limit your minutes, and he understands. And um, he's also being cautious. So we're very cautious with his play time and what he's doing out there. And we just want to get him some repetition now that we're towards the almost the last two games of the regular season before we enter playoffs. We have a lot of time before the first playoff game. So, hopefully by then, yeah, he'll be good to go.
Yep, it's a good thought. JC dropped some news about Bobby Food today.
I
Do you
know,
want to
man.
share?
He's yeah, he has he's out for the season because injury in game two. Um, Sad, just he's new to the league. He's a very promising player, great personality, great teammate, amazing teammate. Just sucks that, an injury like that, season ending, he's probably gonna have to get like knee surgery and stuff. So many cases like that this season, and man, like it just sucks. I feel really bad for Bobby, and he's been a tier one best teammate. So hopefully he gets better soon.
Yeah, feel better soon, Bobby. Oof. All right. Should we make the picks for this week and sign
Yeah,
off?
yeah, let's do that. So on huh. So next week we have our first game is Team Kevin Diaz versus my team will steal your lunch money. I'll let you chime in there on your pick.
Um, I mean, they let's assume that Will Chu plays. So that definitely is a boost for their team.
Oh
And then
yeah.
let's also assume that Kevin Diaz is back to normal. And because you could see it on film, his shoulder was really bothering him the last game, so he couldn't really make much of an impact. I think even then, uh, like your squad is so familiar with Will Chu's game. I think that you're gonna really neutralize him to the best of your ability. And I don't think he is going to make enough of an impact to make them the favorite. They could certainly win, will choose like basketball IQ, setting up teammates, right? It's not just three-point shooting, pushing it in transition, taking care of the ball. That is definitely going to help everyone on that team. So they are capable of pulling off the upset. I just think your team is just too big and too familiar with what Will Chu is capable of. So you're really going to hone in on that. So I got to take your team next week.
Fair, fair. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna, put my team. I think Kevin Diaz's team is just struggling. Like you said, even if they have Will, that's definitely a huge, positive for that team. But yeah, I feel like just their supporting cast hasn't been doing as feel like has to really play the best game, that they have. Jone has to be shooting really well. Leo's got to be like getting boards, but I don't see the hunger. Kev's out. I'm pretty sure like his shoulders, he wouldn't risk coming back early. But knowing him, if he's able to play, he would play. But not having him at 100%, would help my team, and definitely, team Kevin Diaz needs a little bit more offense. So I don't think Will, and then without Kevin Diaz, like, be enough.
Yep, definitely. All right, in the 7:30 slot, we got my team versus Taylor Swifties. Obviously, I'm not going to pick against my team, so I'm going to hand it over to you. What do you think about that game?
I actually think your team, even though you guys have the better record, I think this would be a good game. But I think your team matches well, like against their team. So I think the strengths of um, of Taylor's Swifties is through their guard play with uh, Kenny and Josh. So I think like you guarding like Kenny and like someone like Joe guarding Josh, because you guys are kind of, I feel like would neutralize them like on the any pick and roll switch. If you guys are able to read that on defense, that shuts down, I feel like, their entire offense. And if France is not, shooting as well as he did the week before, Sen had a great game this past week, but I think historically, I don't see him as like that 3-point threat. To me, he's more of like he's a great lefty, dry finisher, very explosive, strong, and can and good first step. But he, yeah, even like like not a zone or like just guarding that like Kenny Josh pick and roll, that would shut them down. And then I think you guys got a little bit, yeah, I think you guys have like your pace in the game matches theirs. I think the problem with us as well is that even though we're a lot bigger than a lot of these teams, our pace is kind of slow. So like their pace was a lot faster than ours, similar to how like Mo's team played. But I think you guys match up very well. Like you guys neutralize that pick and roll. Their pace, you guys are evenly matched. You guys even have a little bit more size, in my opinion. Um, and I think you guys definitely have better shooting. So for me, I say like an 80-20. Like they have a 20% chance to win. You guys have like 80% chance to win.
I think that's fair. I would put their chance higher. I think if we played 5 times, I don't think we win four of one. I think you could also say the same of them. I think they know that Schwartz is going to take the majority of the shots, and I think they'll probably put like Kenny on him. Kenny has the quickness, he has the length to really make it tough on Schwartz. They're probably going to put France or Josh Liu on me to try to neutralize me. I think I'm the second leading scorer on the team. It's either me or Joe. Um, so I think it's going to come down to our supporting cast because I think they're going to make it really tough on me and Schwartz.
Yeah, but
So I think
nobody
that
can. I don't think anyone could guard Brian M off a pick and roll. Like they have no size.
that's definitely true.
Yeah, so
That's
like
definitely
Schwartz
true.
would just abuse that, or you would abuse that too. I mean, yeah, they'll play like good on ball defense on you guys, but like I mean, I don't think they have that. Like, look at us. Like, they were playing 2-3 zone against us, and they left us wide open. Like, I feel like you and Schwartz wouldn't shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys would shoot really well against something like that. I don't think their perimeter defense is as good as you think. I think their on ball defense is good, but off like a pick, I think they're in trouble. But like you said, maybe it's not 4-1. Maybe it's 3-2 or whatever. But I think it's 4-1.
All right. I'm obviously not going to pick against my team, but I'm definitely not looking down on Taylor Swifties. I think they got a good squad. They had a
Oh,
convincing win last week, so we want that win too because I think if we win next week, we secure the bye. So we're coming in hungry as well. I'm definitely going to remind my team about that.
sounds good.
All right, so the last game we have 8:30, Saving Captain Ryan versus Mo Money Mo Buckets. Both teams are 3-2. And who has the head-to-head tiebreaker here? Because they played earlier in the season, saving Captain Ryan. They won in week two, 67-58.
Oh
So this
wow.
is a rematch game. They're both 3-2. So I'm gonna let you go first. Who do you got in this game?
Who we got? Wow, this one's tough. They're both completely both teams have improved a lot
Yeah.
throughout the season. Um, Man, this is tough. Let's just say like both teams are at full strength. Just looking at the roster real quick. Man, I think, oh man, this is tough. I kind of want to go with I kind of want to go with Mo Money, Mo Buckets for this game. And
Why?
I just feel like things have been clicking really well for them. I just feel like saving Captain Ryan, like I still feel like there's some lack of utilizing all the players to their best potential. And Louis has done a great job. I think he's playing very well this season. Um, and Zenny's actually having a pretty good season as well. Like
Mhm.
Zongchi, just not. I mean, he's good, right? But just not at his potential. Not sure what's their strategy going in, whether it's like not utilizing him fully, tapping into like kind of enabling him. Um, we need to see some big play from him, and he's got a tough mid range finish, like shot. But I need to see some toughness from him if they really want to win because I see Mo like diving in for rebounds. Jeff Lou has been playing very physical, playing through contact. Brandon has been doing a lot better. Brandon definitely has picked it up, and they got Luis as well, who's just a dog. Andrew Cho, they're coming off high on this win, and not saying they're going to take them lightly. This is, obviously going to be a very close matchup. So I think they know they're capable of winning. So they're going to just really show up and really, if that gets into the mental of Ryan's team, I feel like Louis won't will be unfazed, but I'm not sure about the other guys.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think it's gonna be a very close game. I like both teams. Um, but I think I'm leaning Mo Money, Mo Buckets because when they played in week two, they didn't have Andrew Cho, and I think he's a key piece. They're gonna have Andrew Cho this time. Of course, saving Captain Ryan is also gonna have James Mung. That also makes a difference. I just think Andrew Cho gives them that dogged like extra perimeter defender and that intensity that you're talking about.
Yeah,
Um, and they've just played differently with him. And saving Captain Ryan, they're susceptible to being turnover prone.
yeah,
And if you look at the steals numbers, like Mo, Brandon, Louise, they're all in the passing lanes getting steals, so they can definitely use that to their advantage. And Mo Money Mo Bucket's 3-point shooting has been real. Last week it was just incredible. And saving Captain Ryan, when I see them on film, sometimes them closing out threes, not the best. So I'm just thinking Mo Money Mo Buckets has that slight edge, so I'm leaning towards them this week.
agreed.
All right, man. Another successful podcast. Oh, I gotta give you a shout out for the jerseys that came in.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
finally. Thank God.
Fire.
You
Absolute
like them?
fire. Yeah, I
Good,
love
I'm
them. Did
glad.
you design them or did Ren design them?
I think Ren designed them with the help of Himero's LA head or and creative team there. It could be a
Okay.
combination. I want to give them a proper shout out, like through social media. But I believe it's a comedy, like a collaborative effort with Ren and Himero, the jersey supplier. I'm glad you like it
Awesome.
though. I've heard good feedback so far, which is awesome. I love them too.
Yeah, everyone I think loves them. So thank you for making that happen, Kamish. Great
Oh
job.
yeah, thank God. Yeah, sorry for the delay, but glad we're getting good feedback so far. And yeah, I'll make a post about that later on.
All right. Sounds good, bro.
Yo, thanks
You
for another great episode. And this was awesome having Kevin going over the games. I like the format. Um, Shout out to everyone in the league, and looking forward to next week's games.
agreed. All right, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, bro. Talk to you later.
See ya.
All right.